Vodafone presents the pre-match.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to ESL One Katowice. We're here on the B stream. We got some more action coming your way as we are also moving over into Group B. You're hearing me right now, but Lyrical and Lacoste are still here as well. We're getting ready to get down with all the action.
Yay.
How you guys doing?
Doing good. I'm excited. Great games coming up.
Yeah, so we're going to be covering, I think the lobby's moving along pretty quickly. So we've got Fnatic versus Aster coming up. First, I wanted to talk about sort of general expectations for Group B. I feel like we agreed that maybe Group B, the level not necessarily as high as Group A, but to me it feels like the spread is a little bit less.
Yeah, so I feel like most of these teams are on the same skill level. I would say NIP and Chaos, depending if Chaos is going to bring their A game to this tournament. But definitely NIP, I would say that they're favorites in this group.
Yeah, I mean, Chaos came, what, 4th at the previous ESL Hamburg, so...
Pretty good stuff.
Under a different team name, of course. They're playing under Pain, but...
I think also Fnatic definitely can show up. It's just like which Fnatic is going to show up.
Sorry. Yeah, I forgot about Fnatic.
Yeah.
My apologies.
It happens. You know, I think that they're a team also, though, that can very easily fly under the radar because the results have kind of been mediocre for how much you would expect of this team, I guess.
Yeah.
I think their result at the CQ Major was okay-ish.
Yeah, that's true.
They also managed to beat Team Liquid 2-0, even though it was Team Liquid with a stand-in. But I feel like MP has improved his game so much.
Yeah, totally.
I would also say that he had some of the best performances in the CQ Major for sure. And I think they need to play around him, give him the hero that he's comfortable with, and then he can carry the game for them.
Yeah, we have Fnatic on the up and up, and then their opponent is Aster, who I feel like everyone's making faces, of course. They looked good in sort of the very beginning, the very formation of this team. Everyone's excited. It's Burning's roster. It's his all-star team, and hasn't really performed recently, have they?
Well, this to me is like such an interesting thing too, because it was in this very room where I feel like we saw the downfall and the complete meltdown of Team Aster.
Yeah.
Like they played amazing in the group stages of ESL One Hamburg, and then at the very end of it, they played Vici in a best-of-3 series, and they just got handled. Like, I've never seen D-Stones get so owned, except when we played against them in pubs that one time. But anyways, the thing that happened there is, like, you see this team that, like, had it built around this one player, D-Stones, and then he basically just gets completely destroyed, and then the rest of the tournament, that team just doesn't have a form, and it's looked the same since then. They bring in Love Me, Love You, and now, as you just mentioned right before the game started, they now have Mushi in as their official player. So they keep changing it up. They're trying to find their form.
All right, question. Do you think Mushi had more than 20 teams?
Including his, like, Dota 1 history?
Well, it's definitely more than 30 with Dota 1, for sure.
So Dota 2 alone, more than 20. I don't know.
I can't give you the anscer.
Is it a new team if like one player changes in the team?
No.
Okay, no.
I guess I was just picturing like team names.
Okay,
right?
team names.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them, I'm sure.
Yeah. Anyway, we are careening towards the draft very quickly, guys, and we do have a couple of videos to show you. So to start things off, we're going to have a quick look at Team Aster.
Aster has shot out of nowhere to quickly become one of the most promising teams in Asia. This is in no small part due to the trio of Sylar, Bobica, and Fenrir, each a highly distinguished player with many tournament wins under their belts. Joining them are the promising Love You, Love Me, and XXS, both of which are itching for a chance to make it on the main stage. However, the team has been plagued by a plethora of poor performances in both online and offline tournaments, meaning they will have to really up their game at ESL One Katowice if they're to prove that Chinese Dota is still something to fear.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Cap, for the voiceover, of course. He's finding some new... He's a very talented man.
That's true.
Our Dota capitalist. But like he said, lots of expectations for Team Aster. It feels like they haven't necessarily lived up to it, but maybe this is a new opportunity for them. Do you feel like Mushi to mid is much of an improvement? I'm personally skeptical. I don't think that Mushi is like the world-class mid that this team needs.
Well, maybe what they needed more was like that steadying hand, the team masters, if you will. But it could be one of those things where you need a more vocal presence as opposed to like a mechanical god, and that is maybe the problem, because when they brought in when they had D-Stones play, he was the captain, which was a little bit surprising, I think, to a lot of people. And
yeah, most of the mids are not captains. There's a reason why almost every single top team has a captain who's position 5 or 4, and you can much more easily contribute to the team fighting what everyone needs to do. Sometimes you can hear captains talking about drafts. They are the most vocal there, but for the laning stage, they don't do that much. It really depends on the captain. Like, you can't play 5 heroes, that's for sure. So you need to focus on your own stuff.
Yeah, and if you're doing something more mechanically demanding, it becomes even more difficult to be looking around the map, calling plays.
But you can also have still a person that's vocal and like getting the team to rally around you, I guess. Yeah. And like when the pressure sets in, then you start to make those calls as a team. So it doesn't necessarily have to be every little thing, but stuff like that where like you can at least be a more vocal voice.
Yeah, you can have a shot caller and a captain. Yeah, right. The captain role doesn't necessarily always have to be the shot caller, and different teams talk about having shot callers at different points in the game.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. That's a good point. So because some players understand the game better. Like, he knows what they need to do in the super late game. If the game drags post the 50, 60 minutes, the decision making, the experience coming out from, let's say, the player who played for 15 years. Yeah, it's
yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I think that it might not be what people would anticipate or like normally think they want out of a mid, but he might bring it to them regardless.
Yeah. So that's Aster. What about Team Fnatic? What do you guys feel about the? Actually, maybe we should just watch the video first. We'll hear what Cat has to say, and then we'll come back and talk to you guys a little bit about Fnatic.
When you think about professional Dota 2 teams in Southeast Asia, you think Fnatic. Although the current roster is very different to what it was even a year ago, Fnatic has come out guns blazing with the addition of MP, Ice, and Jabs to the squad. Truly, Fnatic now has some big names and will be seeking to assert their dominance throughout 2019. Their recent performances have been mixed, performing well in Southeast Asian tournaments but struggling to achieve much at both Kuala Lumpur and Chongqing. With half a year of practice together, they certainly have an edge over some of the newly reshuffled teams, but can Fnatic finally break away from their mediocre results and make it into the top 3 at ESL One Katowice?
Yeah. I don't exactly remember Ice being 19 years old, but
I'm sure he was at
he's
some
not
point.
19. But if you play with no pants, if you play with no shoes, you're getting younger.
That's true. He is such a funny guy. God dang. What a man.
And a fantastic player as well, right? It's interesting because he is the most anti-fun player in games sometimes. Like, every show match that I've seen Ice in, he is one of the players who is actually trying his hardest to win the game. And everybody else is goofing around and like doing whatever, and Ice is like split pushing his broodmother or something.
So here's my thought with Fnatic. You have 3 players that can at any given point take over the game and completely own. You've got Abed, you've got Ice, and you've got DJ. And those are like the playmaker stars. MP has also taken over that role on occasion, but to me he feels like the carry that just like goes in and gets the job done, right?
Is he the glue?
He's the glue. I probably Jabs is the glue. If we're going to be honest. MP is like the blueprint.
Wait. What's else besides glue? What do we have? What are we sticking together?
I don't know. They're like the sticks, I guess. And maybe like, MP is the like blueprint for the whole house that's being built out of sticks and glue. Okay. The analogy falls apart if you look at it too long, but I'm sure there's something there. But yeah, that's my thought with it, is that you have these 3 players that can sort of ball out of control on any given day and just take over the game. So you have to be prepared for all of them, kind of.
And it gives you this wide pool of like gotcha heroes, right? Any single one of them could be, you pull out a last pick, and all of a sudden they're the ones winning the game.
Meepo,
Yeah.
Timbersaw for Ice.
Any hero for Ice. He's
Right.
gonna.
He plays
He's
everything. That's true.
probably the most bannable player in the world. Like most of the teams
Bannable?
spend. Well, yeah, I mean,
Or the
a lot
least,
of teams
least
spend.
bannable.
A lot of teams spend a lot of bans on his
Okay,
hero.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I wanted to say.
That's fair. Yeah, like Nyx, like back in the day, it was his Nyx Assassin, his Timbersaw. What else?
His Bat Rider is
Yeah.
pretty good. He plays the
Tide
traditional
Hunter,
offlaners.
pretty much anything.
Anything that's annoying
Pango.
for the enemy carry, he is like the guy. To me, the Ice playstyle was always exemplified by all of the like. Back when the off lane was still kind of the suicide lane, and then Ice is running in 1v3 to mess up the lane equilibrium, and then just create complete chaos for the next 5 minutes and gets a huge amount out of the lane. He seems so good at thinking that one step ahead. Like, if I die here, it might look bad initially, but then further down the lane, it's going to get me something else.
And that style of play, I think, is going to be coming back because we have more like tri-lanes. There's been a couple of tri-lanes every now and then, and that would be a place that he would fit really well. So I don't know if we're going to maybe even see something like going back even to like the Clockwork days or something like that, or maybe an Earthshaker or something. You're not digging the Clockwork, man?
I mean, he
10-man
received the
battle
buff.
plan?
Battery Assault doesn't have a cast point, which is huge, but overall, I think the hero is pretty situational.
Yeah. Well, I guess what I mean is that style of play, like that or an Earthshaker where you can control lane equilibrium going into the lane.
Yeah, we see more and more tri-lanes, and the reaction to that is people start picking Enigmas or anything that can deny enemy safe lane, and then you just pull the lane back, and we see more and more Enigmas just being in jungle. They deny the lane, go back, farm the jungle, your offlaner gets the experience, gets the gold. It's an old concept, and the Dota changes a lot, so you can still use this old
and that
old
fits
stuff.
with DJ's style of play too, of wanting to be more greedy on something like an Enigma or something like that. So I think that this is the type of patch that could work well for Fnatic. It's just about pulling it all together.
Yeah. Any other heroes you guys want to highlight for other Fnatic players? Like, we've talked about Ice's hero pool a little bit, but anyone else that really jumps out, hero player combinations for you?
I mean, we talked about DJ a little bit with the Enigma. I think like his Wind Ranger back in the day was really good too, but that's a super dead hero. Probably Earth Spirit. If there was going to be one that I would love to see him play on, it would be that. I think that hero is being underpicked right now because it gives you initiation without needing that next item. And so often nowadays we've been seeing like teams get into those early skirmishes. And you want to still build the stat items. So you want the stat items, but you also want the Blink Dagger for that initiation. So, I don't know. To me, that feels like it could be a good one.
I think they need to give MP a hero that he's comfortable with. During CK Major, I remember him playing a mean Juggernaut with some flashy plays, stealing Aegis, getting triple kills. Also, Weaver got a little bit of buffs in the recent patch, and this is a hero that he shines at.
All right, I'm down with that.
Yeah, makes sense. So on this, talking about the carry and MP a little bit, we talked in our earlier series about kind of Resolution versus Nisha. There's a comparison of playstyles between the two carries. Where do you feel like MP fits into that, or where should he fit into that for this Fnatic lineup? Is he, and not that that's necessarily the only ends of the spectrum, right? But how do you guys kind of view his role in Fnatic as a team?
I think that the ideal role would be somebody that is sort of able to take up space in the chaos that's created by the others. That would be like the ideal role. So I actually think that if they wanted to go back for something like a Spectre, play it the Nisha way, where you head out, but then you can also group up, or you can get with your team quickly afterwards. Now, I don't know if they're going to do that because it doesn't necessarily fit with all of what the rest of Fnatic wants to do, but I wouldn't mind seeing a Spectre for him.
I feel like he was kind of sacrificial player where he didn't get too much farm, he didn't get the favorite matchups, and that's how some teams play. You just have to get with the fact that's I mean,
that's how some players.
Yeah, he gets bashed a lot because of it. That's why, like, MP is a bad player, or I don't know,
because
they
he's not
should
getting,
get rid of
he's
it
not
because
getting the
he's
help,
not. Yeah,
he's not
exactly.
getting the priority. To me, it even feels a little bit. I guess it comes to mind because MP used to be an MVP player,
right?
And it was the same kind of thing with KP as well when he was playing carry on MVP. Like, it wasn't the KP show, and people didn't really hype him up all that much. Yeah. But I think NP's a really solid player. And we're going to get to see some.
If you look at the farm distribution on some of these teams, Ice in this team takes a lot of farm on the map. So not everyone can be farmed. You can't have 3 cores that are in top 5 unless you're stomping the game.
Yeah. So, okay, anything that jumps out to you guys immediately as we get into the draft here?
You decide to ban out the Earth Spirit right away and just kind of bust out an Oracle.
Yeah, so the Oracle was very popular I was casting the China qualifiers for the minor a couple of weeks ago, and the Oracle was very, very popular. Some of it felt like people were using it as a response to the Grimstroke, kind of. Like Grimstroke in lane, if you cast Inkswell on somebody, Oracle just immediately dispels it. You do get the stun proc, but it's obviously significantly reduced.
I actually love this answer from Fnatic. Like,
and
the thing that sucks to Oracle is like 5-man group up. That's what Fnatic does.
Give MP a hero that you can't make too many mistakes. A comfortable hero for him. Juggernaut, there he is. And instant response. This is insane. When Dazzle was extremely popular, Troll Warlord plus a Dazzle, it's the same concept. Oracle plus Troll. You can't die for 10+ seconds. It's insane.
Yeah. I'm just going to be able to keep dealing out that damage.
Yeah, Sylar really likes this Troll Warlord. He buys Battle Fury a lot, though, on this hero.
Yeah, I hope he's not buying Battle Fury on.
Yeah, I think it's
anymore.
Sometimes to the detriment of the team, but he does buy Battle Fury a lot on this hero.
Sylar is old school. I think some old school carries need more time to adjust to certain changes in the patches. Magnus banned out. No surprise there with the Troll Warlord. One of the heroes that could possibly be picked for Team Aster is Legion Commander. That's like XXS signature hero.
Yeah. It might be a little bit difficult to get dual wins.
Yeah, not particular in this game. The hero received a couple of buffs, and I feel like this is one of his strongest heroes. Anything with the blink initiation, the guy just shines with the timings. When to initiate, about positioning, he does the math. I don't know if he actually does the math in his head, but he has...
Has a really good intuition for it. Yeah. Okay, so Brewmaster getting banned out. I like the Brew ban. I feel like this Troll Warlord would just... It would be absolute suffering for him if he was just constantly getting cycloned in every single fight. And Aster are very much a team where they are going to have Sylar on the hard carry, and he's going to be trying to kind of 1v5. The games that they looked good on in the China qualifier were where Mushi was playing on very much like a space creation hero, a Puck or a Tiny or something out of the mid lane. As soon as then they had a couple of games where they put Mushi on like a sniper and something along those lines, and it was his job to win the game, and it didn't really look good. So it seems like Fnatic, they've been keeping an eye on things. They've banned the Tiny, they've banned the Puck. So Mushi's going to have to find something else to be
I mean, all these guys
on.
know Mushi.
They need a hero that controls the back line, that goes on Oracle, something like a Centaur or a Timbersaw, that creates a lot of chaos in the back line, forces Oracle to use ulti on him, which he does not want to, unless he's forced to.
Yeah. And then what do you think Aster need at the moment? Do they need some way to get to the Shadow Shaman?
I think they need something that goes through Juggernaut's spin. Beastmaster's still in the pool. There's a lot of spawns for Fnatic. A lot of team fight. If you put a Shadow Shaman ward, Tombstone down, Healing ward, it's going to be tough to fight for Team Aster.
I think you could just go for something like a Tusk here. It makes up for some of your early game woes with the Oracle. It's like that second save that you sometimes want, and it also goes through BKB for Jug. The downside is that now you kind of are running out of ways to hit the Tombstone and to hit the wards. So they're going to need to find a way to sort of deal with that for a hero. I don't know if that's like... Traditionally, it'd be something like a PL, but that hero is just so dead. It might actually be worth it this game.
I don't find Phantom Lancer that I just find him underpicked because some of the
He's
top
forgotten.
teams moved away from Phantom Lancer, and then suddenly everyone just doesn't play Phantom Lancer anymore.
But it also feels really weird with this draft because then you're going to be taking like a PL with a Troll Warlord and then the Oracle, so you have like no disable. Yeah. So I think that it would be kind of cool, but I don't know if they can pick it now because of that Troll pick. It feels strange.
All right, that's a good one against Shadow Shaman and Dying, where you can just their turn rate is pretty garbage. But you're picking Batrider into Juggernaut, which is extremely bad. Like usually you see it other way: Juggernaut being picked, Weavers being picked, Life Stealers, Phantom Lancers against the Batrider. Now it's the opposite.
I really actually think that Team Aster are just going to lose this game in like. The game probably won't end, but it feels like it could be over in 20 minutes just off of these first 3 picks. Like they're just going to roll through and try and take down tower after tower after tower from Fnatic, use that healing ward. Yeah. It seems like a group up strategy, and Team Aster don't have D-push. They don't really have team fight either. Your team fight's naturally going to be worse because of the Oracle. I don't know.
And speaking of rolling,
yeah,
Pangolier's here, ready to go. We've been seeing this hero quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, we've seen it as a mid, as an off lane. Not sure if Abed plays it. It's probably going to be Ice.
I think it's just Ice.
Hero, yeah. And look at the survivability, sustain on Fnatic. This Pangolier, if he gets a Crash Shield, Soul Rip, Healing Ward, they can take a fight, fully heal after it, go Roche.
I think if you're Aster, oh my god. This is just another hero that like doesn't deal with 5-man push running at you. I feel like the answer that Team Aster is saying right now is, okay, we're just going to give up that we won't be able to fight in mid-game that much. We're going to try and win the lanes early and let that propel us.
But are the Night Stalker and Oracle lane-winning supports?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, is it going to be a support Night Stalker? Or
I guess
is
otherwise
it
it's
a
a
core?
support Batrider?
Or
a mid Batrider, and then they're picking their last support? I mean, maybe.
You don't want to run the Batrider against the Jug, right? So maybe you try and dodge that lane.
I don't think it's like the Batrider's never going to kill the Jug, but I think the Bat can harass those 2 supports quite a bit.
You need to dodge Juggernaut for sure. Okay. Yeah, otherwise, I have no clue why they picked the hero in the first place into Jug. But since you're already playing into Jug, you need to play on a different lane. Because you don't threaten a kill. What's the point of having a Batrider if you don't threaten to do anything in the first 10 minutes?
I think Basecup's right. I think you do run it support instead.
Yeah, you could run it as support. That's true.
And then you run like Night Stalker Batrider lane, and then you use Batrider to try and force back supports. Night Stalker can go and contest for last hits. I don't love it, but I think it's the best with what they have right here.
Yep. And then I guess they're just looking for the Mushi hero. Fnatic still have the last overall pick of the entire draft, so they're going to give Abed something that he is happy with in this game. And it feels like they've kind of got their bases covered, right? They've got objective taking from the Jug and the Shadow Shaman. They've got sustain from the Jug, the Undying. They've got initiation from the Pangolier. So
yeah, I was wondering what happened with this hero, and suddenly there's a Chinese team who decided to pick it. It's the Mushi Classic Manta style.
Is he going to buy Manta Lincolns?
Manta Lincolns, the most useless build ever known to humankind.
This is gonna be
so you're already predicting Fnatic now, the cost. Is that what I'm hearing from you?
I want to see what Fnatic wants to pick.
Are they going to get baited into picking the Abed Invoker? Abed Coswex Invoker. He loves that hero and that build, but I just don't know if it's actually that good at the moment.
I think right now, if you're Fnatic, you have 2 options. You can go for a hero that like hits the building, like the Juggernaut, and then something that just can sit behind with the healing ward, or you can just go for another thing that kills right now, and then just say, all right, we're going to kill you inside of your base. Yeah. We're going to be that far ahead.
I think there's a bunch of heroes that look decent for Fnatic.
Yeah.
Yo, give me some
okay.
Slark.
They could Tinker.
Yeah.
I think.
Even Mirana would be like not completely terrible for Fnatic.
Maybe Tinker's actually not bad with Night Stalker. Yeah, it could be bad.
It's a bad Tinker game against Night Stalker, Batrider.
Maybe they could do something like an Ember. I'm thinking something that can deal with the side lane, so they don't have to worry about split push as much. But they go for the PL, so
Okay.
we talked about it. It's decent.
Not for Fnatic. We talked
No,
about
it's
it
fine.
true.
for
It's
Aster,
okay.
but it looks. I think this is all right. It's just kind of the Deuce counter, right? But also it can be if they need to put it in lane against the Batrider. If something weird happens and Aster try and rotate the Bat or something like that to mid, then they have the Phantom Lancer who can also lane just fine up against him.
Yeah, no matter what, Batrider's going to have a bad lane, but it's
Oh, look
Boboka
what
Batrider.
Batrider's doing.
I know, he's
Just cruising.
that's my last name. He's cruising.
Okay.
Fnatic.
You've seen the drafts now,
Fnatic.
guys. Yep. Gabe's
Fnatic.
preempting me here.
Fnatic.
Fnatic.
I'll say Fnatic as
Fna-
well. I'm not
bold
convinced by
prediction,
this.
my friend. Bold prediction.
I'm not convinced by this Medusa pick, and there's a Phantom Lancer who's a great counter to Medusa. I'm surprised that we didn't see more PL as a counter to Medusa in the last 2 patches because Phantom Lancer just disappeared for no particular reason.
Is there anything that the Deucer can do this game, you guys think? Like, we used to see up against the big monoburn counters, people sometimes went like Mask of Madness into BKB as the build. I don't think Mushi's necessarily going to do that, but there are different ways that you can itemize on Medusa to kind of
Yeah, you can always go
mitigate.
for Manta-style
Manta-style
Lincoln Sphere.
Yeah,
that's
that
a great
sounds good. Yeah.
I mean, the thing about
It's got
it that-
ultimate orbs.
The thing about this that sucks even more now for Medusa is that she doesn't even kill off all the illusions with Stone Gaze anymore.
no.
So that's another issue where like even the like one thing that you had going for you as Medusa against PL isn't even there anymore. So I don't know. I am definitely feeling like it's all Fnatic all day.
All right.
All right, it's time to go and get some rest, Gabe.
Time to cruise on out of here, Gabe.
Bye.
And we're going to head ourselves into the game, guys. There we are, immediately paused. It wouldn't be a Southeast Asian game without a quick pause.
You can take Southeast Asia out of Southeast Asia, but
You
that
can't-
doesn't work.
But you can't take Southeast
You can't
Asia
take
out of
pauses.
Europe. What? Is that what you wanted to say? Like, it makes no sense. It started good, but then you realized
I should have just trailed off and let it go. Just said nothing. It would have been great.
You just got to do the, like this, just staircase down to it. Imaginary
Or you do the,
staircase
like,
down
to
off
push
the panel.
button and it's just
The elevator.
my knees don't bend that far. Lacoste. I almost broke them right there. Need to go back to yoga class.
So basically, your joke would be you can't take Southeast Asia out of Southeast Asia, but you can take Southeast
No, it
Asia out of
doesn't work.
Southeast Asia. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Again, that's
Their
just,
mentality, that's what we're talking about. The
Yeah.
pause mentality.
I mean, really, that's an NA thing, if we're going to be honest.
Yeah. Are there, okay, so while they're paused, they're probably thinking about it, so we should probably think about it as well.
Okay.
Are there any funky, interesting ways to set these lanes to get a little bit of an advantage? Somebody is scribbling EE on the minimap.
Nice.
I don't know what's going on with that, but there you go.
Easy.
Even you can take the EE out of Fnatic.
Oh yeah, there we go.
I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Jeez.
And we can take E out from Southeast Asia,
And then he
but
goes
then
to
it's not
South
very
America,
effective.
and then he goes
No.
to North America, and yeah, back to Europe maybe eventually. Who knows? Lane matchups. I think that the biggest worry that I have in this is the Undying just like killing everybody. You know, like what do you do as an Oracle against an Undying? I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's true. Not a whole lot.
Or like even, I mean, their big defense against it is Batrider at this point, which I guess there's something to be said there where you can like, he can't kite away, like decay, then run away, then decay again, then run away. But
Yeah.
he also could just like drop his tombstone and kill you. So I don't know. It seems scary, especially level 1.
Yeah, they've got some really, their supports are insanely strong level 1. The Shadow Shaman plus Undying, it's so much damage.
Do you think that they just go full on tri-lane with it? Is that like enough to just punish a troll?
So what's their 1v1 then? They have to have the
Pango
1v1 versus
Night
Night
Stalker?
Stalker? That sounds fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, why not? I'm down with this aggro tri-lane. 'Cause
Or what about like a 2 heroes mid against the Dusa?
Yeah, it's a no.
No.
No, I think Undying
What about
could
the-
help Pango on the top lane a little bit if needed, then rotate to bottom if they decide
What
to
if they take a
try
page out
lane.
of Zhao 8's book and they have the support Batrider stickying mid? It's not going to help. It's against
No.
a Phantom Lancer. He's just going to get
It's a doppelganger off. Yeah.
Never mind. That was a...
I mean, it's a good thought, but that was like the old way to do it, right?
If you were playing support Batrider, that was what you did. You just went and annoyed the crap out of the.
I guess the other thing
opposing
that you
mid
could do
laner.
is just go stack the jungle. But then you also want to retreat to the jungle as the Batrider and the Medusa. So that might be what he needs to do is like go to the off lane and then do like 2-1-2 lanes and just say our troll is going to have a bad time. I don't know. It definitely feels really rough. And I think that there's going to be a lot of stacking going on. And the thing that they need to be careful of is Fnatic running in, dropping down a tombstone and stealing those stacks. If that happens, this game is super over.
Yeah.
If Fnatic are able to get their stack, or if Aster are able to get their stacks and clear them, then maybe they got a chance.
Yeah.
It's going to be so confusing for Aster to fight into this. You have Shadow Shaman wards, you have Illusion from Phantom Lancer, zombies running around, you have Pangolier in the back line rolling.
It's going to be chaos.
Feels so tough to fight into a lineup like this.
Yeah. What do you feel like is the correct build for the Troll Warlord this game? Do you just get like...
God, I never
is
know
it,
with that
is it
hero.
like a Yasha and a Vlad's? Do you need early BKB? You definitely are not buying... If you've got the Medusa on your team, you're not buying Battle Fury, right? Medusa is
No,
the primary carry.
yeah.
You are taking a back seat and you're buying earlier game items or utility.
They're probably going to need like Yasha into BKB, then maybe
Could he get a
upgrade
Shadow
it to-
Blade? Is that...
Nah.
No, not a thing.
Not
I mean,
anymore
who's he
on Troll
going to
Warlord?
kill? It would have to be like Undying, maybe, but that
He's not going to have a
happen.
problem with surviving, in my opinion, considering that there's Oracle behind him.
Right.
So
Is he going to get the Oracle ults, do you think?
Depends on
it's
how
gonna
the
be
game
tough.
ends.
it's going
on
to
how
be
the fight
tough
plays
what
out.
kind of a build Pango goes for and where
The other
he's going
thing
to
is that
position
Oracle
himself.
can't show because PL can just jump on him, right? And it's particularly once you get that level 20 talent with the
bonus
range
Yeah.
on Phantom
Plus
Rush.
600
Oh, yeah, that's gonna
range or
be-
whatever.
That's going to be awful.
That's going to be insane in
So-
50+ minute game. Just kidding.
When I think about like when I think about like the trolls itemization too, and a lot of times what I see in these games that trying to play, particularly Aster, is like they'll get an early BKB and then they won't fight with it. They'll just sit on it because they know that they don't want to die. And that sometimes is what ends up happening. But that's also tends to be when you see like Aster versus Vici or something like that.
Yeah.
In this game, I think he needs it still because he can't fight into Pango and he can't fight into Shadow Shaman without a BKB. But also, he's not going to do any damage. Because, like, how do they control this PL? What's their lockdown for him? They don't have anything. It's like the silence from Night Stalker, kind of.
Yeah, it's good.
Sort
It's,
of. But
Yeah, you can't get rid of this silence anymore, considering it's AoE. You can't Manta style out of it anymore.
Sure.
But you can Phantom Rush out of it.
That's... Yeah.
If you have a target, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
You
you're
can-
faster than
You can just
than a Night Stalker,
juke out of
though.
it, right? You send one illusion this way, you go this way. Night Stalker has to pick. You can only
Right.
keep the silence on
That's true.
one part of the clump. So
Well, and that's the thing, too, is that normally the way that you would find a kill before is like, particularly if PL gets into Heart, he's not going to die in the duration of a crippling fear. I don't think. Because they
Probably
need
not.
that secondary stun afterwards. So maybe it's like...
They don't have a stun. They don't
Exactly,
even
they don't have a
one
stun. They have
What?
a root. That's the only thing. I guess that they have like they have Batrider ulti.
yeah. Is there any consideration to buying Ags on Deuce this game?
Turning everybody to stone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Synergize
maybe
with
if
the Troll
D-Stones
Warlord.
was playing it.
Ah, okay.
The heck.
Yeah.
Lacoste, you crazy.
Dad
guy.
jokes.
We've got everybody reconnected, so we should hopefully be able to get in here. Does anybody want to make predictions on the other series going on? Who wants
Sure.
to
What
wants
are
to
they?
earn some points? Our other two series are NIP versus
they're
Alliance
starting, so I
and
might-
Chaos versus Complexity. Quickly.
NIP Alliance 1-1 and Chaos against, what did you say?
Chaos Complexity.
2-0 for Chaos.
Okay.
That sounds good to me.
All
See
right,
ya.
Gabe's in there. Gabe's out. He's going to cruise on out of this game, and we are going to head in. Fnatic versus Aster, game number 1. We're getting kicked off with Group B. I'm excited for this one. What are we looking at here early on? DJ's got some boots to start the game off, and everyone is taunt spamming their way out into the lanes. So
Shadow Shaman base HP is pretty high. 660, level 1.
yeah, his base
He
stats
has
are
more
pretty
than
good.
Undying. What?
76 damage as well. Strong hero at level 1. It feels like he kind of got the Nature's Prophet treatment a little bit, where they just like buff his base stats to the point where the hero is good. Puck kind of had the same thing as well. It's just like, hey, I just keep buffing Puck's base damage until it's good. Like,
Yeah, we're gonna have 70 damage Puck once he buys a couple of branches and null talismans.
So, okay, a couple of stacks on DJ here. Fnatic trying to invade and put some pressure on, but Aster still want to try and fight for this rune. Triple decay. Oh, but Jab's needing to be careful about this. He's already slowed up quite a bit. DJ's going to come in and try and help out. So will Ice, and Baboka getting pushed back a little bit. Jabs with another decay, finds 2, and now he's got big damage. Baboka locked down a little bit. One more is going to do it. Ice jumping over the top. They're still looking for this Jabs kill, but he's going to get another decay off. Heals up a little bit more. Sylar wants to man fight this and finish the kill. Takes quite a bit of damage for his trouble, and DJ with the punches.
That's
it will actually be Ice
another
grabbing the double. And another pause.
Kale.
But so Aster paused it, but it's Fnatic saying Kale. So I guess they're just lagging?
Yeah, I don't know. Double kill for Pango.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Also, why would you want to fight Undying who just used a triple decay? Yeah. It makes no sense.
And they just don't really have any follow-up damage. Like, it's just auto attacks from the troll, right? They'd already got some sticky stacks out, and then they'd already used the Fortune's End, and they still decided to go for that. This is going to be some crazy fast arcane boots or a bottle or something for Ice. He's going to have so much more spam. Like, you've been talking about over and over the not the Pangolier plus Crystal Maiden combo.
Yeah.
And, well, filling in the role of Crystal Maiden this game will be a double kill plus at the beginning of the game.
So it's either free mana boots or bottle if he decides to go for it. He has 600 gold. He even got the last hit on a creep with Swashbuckle. So bottom lane, we're going to have Night Stalker against Juggernaut. I think Night Stalker is going to get a lot from this lane. Oh, we're having some slight issues. A little bit of lag.
Yep, DJ taking off his headset and unpausing apparently. Yeah, this is going to be interesting actually. I am curious to see how Fnatic choose to play with their supports. If they're just going to continue. Do you think they continue playing up top here for a little bit? We talked, I mean, while we were on the panel about potentially going for this aggro tri-lane, but we thought the tri-lane was going to have the Jug in it, and they were going to leave the Pango 1v1. Do you like this more or less, having the Jug 1v1 and then the aggro tri-lane being with the Pangolier?
Yeah, because Jug gets more out of this 1 versus 1 lane. Otherwise, Pango would need to either try to pull the wave back between tier 1 and tier 2 tower. This way, Jug can actually trade against the Night Stalker. And we can see the rotation coming. Shadow Shaman already TPing bottom. So there's a kill potential. I think we discussed the lanes. I said we're gonna have Pango, and Undying is just gonna help him out at the start, secure his lane. He doesn't need to do too much in this lane. Just spam decay. We're gonna have another pause with
another
go.
Immediate go.
Yeah, and if they decide to tri-laning against Undying is never good.
Do you think it's a worthwhile use of Fenrir's time to be down here on the Oracle? Like, I don't know what this Night Stalker Oracle lane is supposed to accomplish. Night Stalker just doesn't seem to have any laning presence at all. Every time I've seen this hero, he's just kind of floating around, grabbing a few CS, but it's never amazing farm. It's never all that much kill pressure. He just sort of exists and soaks experience.
He needs to have Knight to be efficient, so we're gonna wait for a couple more minutes. This top lane is not looking good for Aster. I mean, they can still spam Stick in a Palm. There's a lot of slow potential, Whirling Axes. Also, Undying will need to back off every time he gets a couple of sticky charges. Let's see what's happening on the mid lane. 9-1 against 7-1. Abed with no Spirit Lance build. He dodges the snake. Nah, it's gonna be tough for Medusa. He's just gonna keep repeating that. Once he gets to level 5 and have Phantom Rush on 8 seconds cooldown, she's gonna need to bring a lot of regen.
Yeah, it's a lot of bonus ag, especially after it got buffed recently.
Yeah, you just run onto Medusa, you get more damage, you get more move speed, so you can chase, you get more armor, so you can trade the hits, you can also tank the creep wave.
Yeah, it's good stuff. The one other thing that to me says a lot about the way that Aster are looking at, especially at this bottom lane, is you look at Fenrir's skill build, and he's gone for the Fate's Edict level 2. And I think they're not planning on getting any kills down here, but he at least wants to be here. If they go on the Night Stalker, then he can just throw out an Edict and block all of the spin damage, but it's, they're not anticipating they're going to get any kills. Action up top, Jab's getting auto attack down here. He's still got a lot of sticky stacks on him, does turn around for a decay, but doesn't really have a whole lot of move speed. Baboka's going to come over and try to finish it off, but the auto attack isn't going to do it. Jab's actually surviving. I think some of the stacks got reset, and he didn't have the bonus damage. Jabs is actually even running forward onto him.
Oh,
to
man.
Get off one more decay before he goes back home.
Ice has a 3-minute javelin on Pango.
Oh,
Did you
God.
ever had a guy in your pubs when Pango was released that skips every single item and just buys javelin as the first item?
Yes, I've certainly had that. Oh, okay. Jabs sneaks around back behind the tower. You know, gives away a tiny bit of gold, but gets the full reset. This javelin's actually going to be pretty scary, depending on how many procs he gets with the swashbuckle. Could do a lot of damage. He is getting stacked up quite a bit with the sticky, but I don't know if Baboka's going to try for anything. Across all 3 lanes, Fnatic seem to be doing pretty well on CS.
Abed's doing a really good job just dodging the Mystic Snake. Medusa level 4.5, Abed already level 5. If he can get this double damage rune, Fenrir could deny it. Yeah.
Nice. So where do the rotations from Aster pretty much just come from the Night Stalker? Is that the situation here? They're just waiting for like first night, second night to
If you're
make
playing
anything
a
happen?
core Night Stalker, then you're not gonna rotate that much during the first
Sylar
night.
just trying to stay away from Ice here. He's got a swashbuckle soon, and if he gets some procs, this could be a kill. There's the blind disarm coming in, and Ice. That's a killing spree
He drops
for him.
healing salve.
Oh, and the BM. Ice. Jab's looking like he might get ticked out by the Bat Rider chasing him down. Baboka doing some nice damage there, as we do have the 5-minute bounty rune battle heating up. Aster should be able to grab 1 at the very least down here.
Yeah.
And it looks like it is going to be a 2-2 split across the board.
Considering how lanes are going, it's gonna influence whether the Night Stalker is gonna move or not. Since top lane is not doing that great, he might actually rotate, try to even get a kill on mid. He's still saving a skill point for Crippling Fear if needed.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what he opts to do. If he could try and get the level 6 first, that would be great, but might not be quite so easy. MP just going to be going for a pretty standard small item build here, just some phase boots into a drum. Doesn't need to go for anything too crazy.
Yes, no Hand of Midas on Jug, thank you.
No Hand of Midas, no Battle Fury. Could even just go for another Diffusal Blade this game, right? Could be pretty value. Seems fairly solid against the Dusa. And the other heroes on Aster are fairly mana dependent, but have relatively low mana pools, so you know, you mana burn out the Night Stalker, and all of a sudden he's not so scary.
I think Manta Style is going to be the core item to get rid of the Whirling Axes, get rid of the Fortunes, and sticking up palm charges. Can't get rid of Silence from Night Stalker anymore, but everything else he can dodge.
Yeah, and Night Stalker actually TP's top to try and hunt for Ice, but doesn't find him. And not like Night Stalker is really going to contribute all that much to trying to take this tower. So it feels like XXS is just kind of stuck up here for the next little bit. They are kind of hunting, scouting around, looking for something. It seems like Aster want to try and force this tower somewhat. And the dive is going to come in. Jabs might be in a little bit of danger. He's still holding a skill point for now. Does pop it into the tombstone. Hasn't thrown it out just yet. They do glyph the wave as well as they dive in underneath. But Abed coming in with an arcane rune. And that's trouble for Sylar, who went in a little bit too far. They just lose the Troll Warlord for free. And Fnatic more than successfully defend their tier 1 tower.
No, that's not how you rotate. Night Stalker needs the TP when they're either diving or when there's something happening where he can outrun the opponents, try to grab a kill or two. If you're just TPing and missing from the lane...
Oh, Jab's in a little bit of danger here.
Since you're playing a core Night Stalker, you can't really...
Ice gonna try, doesn't get the disarm, does get the silence, and now we've also got DJ rotating over. Jabs still alive. Baboka with the uphill hit does connect. There is going to be a healing salve trying to keep Jabs alive. It's not enough. Baboka juking through the trees, but Fnatic still hot on his tail. They've got another shackle, and these procs from Ice. This Javelin is doing so much work, and he now has a mega kill streak almost 8 minutes into this game.
Yeah, and what is Night Stalker doing? He died once,
Nothing.
he's level 5, 8 minutes in, the night is gonna last for 2 more minutes. Meanwhile, you have a Jug on the bottom lane who's free farming. That's the downside of the hero. If you just, if you're playing it as a core, he's missing from the lane, you know something is up.
Yeah, and Ice isn't done. He's smoked up, he's healed up, he's got the Rolling Thunder ready to go. And I think they're just looking for a random little kill somewhere. Oh, and they know that Sylar's left top lane. He's not up there anymore. They are going to reveal him with this scan, and they want yet another kill on Sylar. They're not going to let him go. Ice looking for something to bounce off, trying to come back in. They will force out the Shrine, and that should mean that Fnatic now look for the retreat. Couple of stacks up on Jabs. Might get sacrificed, but MP's going to come over for the assist with the healing ward, and Fnatic will just turn their attention over towards this tier 1 for now. XXS running forward, they're looking towards MP. He hasn't spun just yet. Has quite a lot of wand charges, so feeling pretty confident, especially with this healing ward down as well. And yeah, Fnatic just buying a little bit more time down here. DJ's getting a lot of farm up top, and he's actually about to grab level 6. So he could bomb the Mass Serpent ward down this tower if he wanted to, but looks like he will decide to just hang on to them a little bit longer. And this bottom siege is actually continuing for Fnatic. They're not backing down. Though maybe MP is getting a little bit low at this point.
So Rasta wards are up if they want to pressure the mid tower. DJ already running there. And they can do a simultaneous action. Take bottom tower and mid one.
Yep, they do have the Pango coming in now. And there's this Mass Serpent wards. Mushi in a little bit of danger, gets silenced up. He doesn't actually have the Mana Shield on just yet. Will now turn it on as the Rolling Thunder comes through. Baboka will be able to escape, but Mushi, as the second Rolling Thunder bounces in, he's just dead. They're trying to respond on Aster, but they don't have any immediate stuns. They don't really have any kind of response.
They might grab 4 Bounty Runes. Someone's steeping top. It's Troll Warlord.
Sylar, can he get there in time? All right, yes he can. Nobody really contesting from the Fnatic side. But Ice is going to grab the one over on the Radiant. But still, it's a small consolation for Sylar as Aster are now down 4K net worth 10 minutes into the game. They're not really finding much of a foothold. We're back into daytime. It feels like the Troll Warlord's not really finding a whole lot of impact. The Medusa still needs a lot more time, and Night Stalker plus the 2 supports don't really have any plays to make.
Yeah, it's really tough for Aster right now to make any kind of a movement, considering that both Troll and Medusa need a lot of time to come online. Batrider is level 5, so he can't make a rotation without Flaming Lasso. Oracle is level 6, so the only way they can try to play right now is bait with one of the heroes, put Oracle ulti on him.
Oh, another Rolling Thunder. Ice keen for this kill. Gonna come bouncing back off the wall. Out he comes, and DJ with the kill secure.
Wow, from
Aether
downtown.
lands from downtown. Sylar coming in along with XXS. They're going to pop the Night Stalker ultimate looking for this kill. They really want Pangalier's streak, and they are going to get it. XXS grabs it. Jabs is going to get rooted up as well. Sylar locking him down. And that is going to be a double kill for XXS. We said, what plays can they make on the Aster side? And there you go.
Just
now that they've got the
counterplay.
Night Stalker ultimate. Yeah, it was just the turnaround, but still good. Very much what they needed, though. Might be a little bit too little. Sylar is looking really rough on the net worth chart. He is number 4 in the number 4 from the bottom, so not looking great.
Man, DJ has more farm than him.
Yep. Well, DJ has more farm than Ice. So
Well, ISS was making moves around the map, and DJ was left
creeps.
alone. Yeah.
DJ has 43 CS. So, yeah, he's very, very close to Ice on the CS board. But this is pretty typical Fnatic. Nothing too unusual there. They're looking at MP at bottom, but I don't know if they can actually do anything about him. He's also got a haste rune, so he's just playing games with Aster, though does need to be a little bit careful. Batrider does have the lasso, and MP is just heading away. Abed is farming in their face. Fenrir and Mushi can't really do anything about him, and Abed just rushing at Mushi once again. Maybe trying to force out this false promise or something like that.
Oh man, Abed is 300 gold away from the Diffusal Blade.
That's going to be really
That's
scary.
when they're gonna start playing more aggressive. You can see Fords already being dropped on top. I'm not sure if there's any response coming out from Aster on this one.
What do you feel like the Medusa pick was for this game? Like, how
Just secure the late game, I guess, even though you had Troll, which is extremely greedy.
Shackles at bottom. XSS going to try for the TP out. Looks like he might be tanky enough and will manage to escape. All right. A little bit of a wasted Omni Slash there for Fnatic, but not a huge loss as they do take out this tier 2 over at top. And now look towards Baboka, trying to get up onto the high ground and inside of his base, does just manage to do so. Ice bouncing around a little bit over here. But it's just pressure. Just kind of keeping Aster on their toes as they just continue to farm and lose more and more map control. They haven't taken a single tier 1 tower just yet. They do have another Dark Ascension ready. So that's what Night Stalker is looking for. Hoping for some kind of a kill. I'm going to pop the drum charge as well just to get in on top of jabs. But if this is the only kill that they get out of this Night Stalker ultimate, I don't know if it's going to be that big of a deal for Aster. Well, better than nothing, I suppose.
Yeah, the Knight is going to be ready in next 50 seconds, so this is the time when they need to do something. Batrider still has a lasso. It's building towards Rum, just 200 gold away. When you're playing a support Batrider, you want to get those cheap items that Drums feels like a natural item choice.
Yeah, just get some auras up for your team, I suppose. Sylar is just working on a Yasha at the moment. No clear indication of what his overall build is going to be. Mushi has also picked up a Yasha, though he is going into a Dragon Lance as his secondary item.
This is the way to play when you're playing against the Phantom Lancer. You don't build that many stat items, mana items. You get Yasha, you get Dragon Lance, maybe straight into Butterfly after, just to mitigate the damage with the evasion.
Man, poor Fenrir came down here to put down an Observer Ward, and it just instantly got dewarded by Fnatic. They are still completely controlling the map, playing around these Master Wards every single time that they're up, and Aster just finding whatever scraps of farm they can on the map, really. They're spread out all the way across the dire jungle, just grabbing little bits of farm here and there, trying to stay away from Fnatic at every opportunity. But if there is a turning point for Aster this game, when is it? Is it 2 items on the Medusa? Is it more than that?
It's tough.
The high grounds?
Every time Serpent Wards are up, it's a guaranteed tower. That's going to be the last tier 2 tower standing on a mid lane. They need to make something happen, try to trade for kills, buy some time for this Medusa.
Yeah, it really feels like they're just kind of playing for the high ground defense at this point. Sort of hoping that that's going to be enough. They do get a little bit stronger with their backs up against the high ground. Like, there won't be anybody getting in deep to find the Oracle. So he should be able to get a guaranteed ultimate off on somebody, but I just don't know how much damage the Troll or the Medusa are actually going to be doing in these fights. I think they might just get controlled by the Shadow Shaman, and Fnatic do have decent kiting as well. So.
Yeah. Well, look at the farm on DJ. He's level 10, has XP gain talent, Ether Lance plus a Blink Dagger.
Does not opt to immediately TP out after the spin, so XXS locks in on top of him. This is a fairly deep dive. Ice coming in, trying to help out as well. He's got the Rolling Thunder. He's going to open up some space. Can he actually keep MP alive? It's not quite enough. Jab's coming down here now as well. Going to pop down the Tombstone. Uses his ultimate. Abed on the case, but doesn't want to engage on Tamushi just yet while the Stone Gaze is active. So they're also going to let Jabs go. And now Ice split off from the team a little bit. Does manage to get into the trees, but XXS still flying high. Does find him in here, and Aster are going to find a triple kill for XXS.
Nice rotation, though.
Yeah.
If Juggernaut managed to TP out, there would be no casualties. It would only be tier 1 tower. The thing about Phantom Lancer is he has really weird power spikes. Once he gets the Diffusal Blade, he feels like the strongest hero on the map, but he needs a second and third item so he can be that frontliner and not be afraid of being bursted.
Yeah. It kind of felt to me like MP was just calling for them to take that fight. I think he had the option of TPing out, but instead he's just going to respawn. They are going to head into Ro1. There's no outer towers left to take with the Mass Serpent wards, so just going to pop that down and grab themselves a Roche at this point. And a little bit of action happening at bottom as XSS, they are looking at him here. Jump forward from DJ as well. It's going to be the supporting cast from Fnatic looking for this kill, and Ice even getting a little bit greedy, looking over in the trees, trying to find Baboka. But hopefully this means that they still get the XXS kill. He's pretty fast. And Ice may actually regret his decision, though. There you go,
that
DJ.
cast range.
Yeah, the cast range way too much from the Aether Lens, and he does manage to finish off that kill at the end of the day.
So Abed now has Aegis, and he can play aggressive again. When the Serpent wards are up, I assume they're going to go for high ground. It's going to be daytime by then. Nightstalker is going to have his ulti up, but they need to try to finish this game. Troll has SNY finished. It's really good against the Juggernaut to tank up. It's great against Shadow Shaman, some status resistance for his spells to last less. And the Spider Rider is also getting items.
Yeah.
Like
So do you feel like Fnatic
chart.
are on a timer a little bit here? Like, do Aster have the superior late game? It might not even get to that point. We'll see what happens in these upcoming fights. They've already found Baboka. Ice locking down one more. Sylar in some trouble. The Omnislash is bouncing up onto the high ground, though it does get dragged into the creeps. MP needing to be a little bit careful, wants to rejoin his team. They're trying to finish off Sylar, but he's got the heal from the False Promise, combining with the Shrine, so I think he might be okay. And now Fnatic have to consider whether they actually want to fight up this high ground. They instead will just head over towards the top lane where Mass Serpent wards are cooling down and DJ wants this tier 3 tower. And Aster aren't actually inside of the base. It's taking them a little bit to get in here and defend. And it looks like Abed might just try and run interference, send some illusions across. They're still just spamming away. They just want to focus down this tower.
Yeah.
I don't know if they stick around after that point.
Abed is just going to control the backline with his illusions, and the Baboka just disappeared.
Yeah, and it's daytime now as well, so Nightstalker not too scared. Looks like Fnatic thinking about sticking around a little bit longer. Everybody keeps kind of making some moves towards it. Abed now committing into XXS. They are going to get a buyback from the Bat Rider. Ice with another Rolling Thunder. He did have an Arcane Rune for the previous one. MP in a little bit of trouble, but he's got the spin. If he can just get out of the silence, but he won't be able to because of the root he's brought down. And Fnatic looking like they may be bit off a little bit more than they can chew, though. Abed still standing strong. Looks towards Baboka. Does manage to maul him. And they head in a little bit further. Sylar locked down. Ice up in his face. Mushi running out of mana. The Diffusal Blade doing its job as Abed still has this Aegis, so he's feeling pretty confident. Gets another Doppelganger off, wants this Sylar kill. XXS can't figure out which one is the real one, and looks like Abed will finish this kill. Fnatic force out another buyback. That's from Mushi, but this is just to hold the racks. It's not going to be any additional kills. And Fnatic, other than losing MP there, winning really big. And you just have to look at the Golden XP to see that story.
And I loved how they just went back after there's really not needed to focus on those racks. They're really hard to take down. They managed to get 2 buybacks from Team Aster. Aegis is still up on Phantom Lancer for the next minute and 50. They know it's a daytime. They're going to try to go in again with the Serpent wards and try to close this game. Shadow Shaman is going to have a BKB almost. What? 21 minutes in.
I mean,
That's insane. Like
he's
positioning.
more farmed than the judge.
His positioning was so good. He goes in, blinks, gets a disable on Oracle, goes back, then blinks in again. DJ's playing out of his mind in this game.
It's actually so funny that we talked about during the panel. We were like, oh yeah, for Fnatic, the people that can carry a game are Abed, Ice, DJ, and then it was kind of like, oh, what about MP? And
oh yeah, he's a sacrificial carry. Suddenly, you have a position 4 who's more farmed than your
forced
carry.
out. Abed does just disengage. Now that the Stone Gaze is down, they can try and look for a secondary opportunity. He is still going to have the Aegis for another 55 seconds, so Fnatic might be looking to make something happen with that, and they do have the Mass Serpent Wards off cooldown once again. So instead of going for top racks, they will look towards another tier 3 tower. Baboka in trouble at bottom. He doesn't have the Firefly. It's still on cooldown. Jumping into the back lines. They've got the Omnislash coming through. Fenrir forced to use the ultimate on himself, but that means Sylar can't engage into this fight. They're just going to lose the 2 supports. XXS with his BKB pops goes looking for DJ, but he just TPs out in front of him. So DJ's just fine. That's a lot of wasted time for XXS. He committed pretty much his entire team fight on trying to find DJ, and he won't manage to do it, as now Fnatic look to clean up this first lane of racks. Super easy. Jabs is throwing pigs all over the place. Aster just never seemed to find a foothold in this game.
Get your pig champs ready.
Fnatic, they just made it look easy. They got that double kill at Ice at the start, and he just never looked back. And Aster, other than XXS finding the occasional gank here and there, just never seemed to have any plays to make. Got one more team fight coming through. Rolling Thunder splitting things up, driving Fenrir back. They will finally manage to get the ultimate off, or actually it's still on cooldown, so they just keep the Troll Warlord alive with a couple of heals. Jabs does get brought down. DJ in a little bit of danger. Pops his BKB now, looking to walk it off, turns around with the Shackle, and now the blink out of the base. I think Fnatic were playing as if they'd already gotten the GG called, but Aster are going to stick this one out. They've still got 2 lanes of racks intact, and they will manage to drive back Fnatic.
Never underestimate the power of Tres Dos Dos. It's inside of us, all of us.
Yeah.
Sometimes
it's a
hard,
fundamental
hard
part
to
of every
fight,
Dota player.
It, yeah.
And if you're picking Medusa, that's the other thing. There are certain heroes where if you pick Medusa or you pick Tinker or you pick Spectre, I feel like you don't GG with just 1 lane of racks down,
no.
right? I think it's about to be more than 1 lane of racks down, but we'll see what happens. Aster, they are looking to flank from the side. Sylar coming in, but just struggling with illusions. And Pangolier also poking at him a little bit. They're not really hard committing to the fight. They're just wearing his HP and mana down. As now they go in at top with another round of Mass Serpent Wards. Abed's the one to just zone everybody back with the illusions. As Jabs has nothing better to do than just spam his taunt. He's letting his team do the rest of the work. He did his job in the early game, and now he is here to collect the spoils. XXS is trying to flank. Has popped the Dark Ascension, is going to be looking for the backlines, but DJ's got his BKB, so he doesn't really have to worry about him too much. Another Rolling Thunder coming through. Now the Shackle's onto XXS. Can he make it back inside of the base? I don't know if he's going to be able to. They save him with the Omnislash, but that gets dragged over onto the Oracle, who ends up dying from it. MP runs himself out of the base. Abed just turns his attention towards the Batrider. It's now a 3v5 as DJ is going to go looking for more. He's got his BKB blink into the Shackle, and the damage coming in from Abed as now Sylar will tap out. They call the GG, and Fnatic will be easily taking this first game.
It's really hard to fight into Fnatic's lineup. So many illusions. Serpent Wards are down. You can't really cut into a backline. There's a Tombstone. Phantom Lancer illusions are burning your mana. You can't really come close. And then you have Ice, who's cutting into a backline, just controlling. Did you see where Oracle was standing? He was almost standing at the fountain because he couldn't do anything.
He couldn't get anywhere close.
Yeah, that was...
That was tough to watch. That was...
It's very rare that you see a draft where you're like, I have no idea what they were thinking. But I have no idea what Aster was thinking. Like, after the first pick, you take the Oracle first, and then you see, all right, they're going to go Jug Shadow Shaman. You knew what they were going to do. There was no wave clear. There was no team fight. There was no nothing. They couldn't do anything all game long.
Yeah, the last couple of picks, I just didn't feel like there was like a cohesive idea.
The draft was terrible.
Yeah. Like the Batrider pick as well. Let's talk about the Batrider pick for a second. What did the Batrider pick do? What was it for? The Jug was already picked, so they already had one decent lane matchup against it. It looked okay against the Undying, maybe. Like Undying couldn't do everything that he wanted because he had some sticky stacks on him, but
it's not effective.
no, it's not a counter, right?
You're picking Batrider into Jug, and then you pick Medusa. They decide to go for a Phantom Lancer. So you have 2 heroes, 2 cores on their side who can get rid of the sticky napalm charges. They're gonna have a favorite matchup. It's just suicidal in my opinion. I don't know how you end up with a lineup like this in 2019 playing professional Dota. I really don't.
No, that's what I'm saying. And then to top it all off, you have Fnatic that's playing amazing. 3-minute Javelin, which you pointed out. Like, I think that's probably the fastest that's ever been recorded in a pro match, I think. I don't know what the stats are on that, but he just owned. Like, that early on, it's not just that, you don't have boots, whatever, but the amount of harassment damage that you deal out is just insane. So, yeah. Kudos to Fnatic and Aster. Man, soul searching time. Got to figure some stuff out.
Yeah, they're going to have to take a little bit of time to go and figure out what exactly they're going to be doing for game number 2. And we're going to head to a short break. When we come back, we'll see if Aster can put something together.